By the way, Sir Peter, sinong magdi-discuss? NGDC team ba or R3 team?
Sir, kausap pa po ni Sir yung si Sir Peter.
Pero would you know kung sinong mag-discuss?
Sige sir, sabihin. Ayun sir, nakikinig na po siya.
Okay. Sir Peter. Sino Sir Mike ba?
Hello po, Sir Ed.
Yes, Sir Peter.
Ang magdi-discuss po is NGDC.
NGDC. Okay.
Yes po.
Sige. Okay. Mas confident sila.
Yes, yes po.
Okay.
Ay, Sir Peter, ano po ba yung name nung sa mga NGDC? Baka isa din sila sa nasa waiting room.
Sila Sir Michael Labitan, Erwin,
Michael Lagitan. Sige po, pasukin ko na po. Michael Lagitan.
Erwin Tulay, Carlo Limapuyo, Patrick Soenes.
Sir Peter, ano palang sabi ni Sir Yong dun sa um 4M? Sorry,
Ayun,
halo-halo.
i-endorse na po yung memo for negative, request for negative.
Okay. Good morning po sa GDC team, Sir Mike. Good morning po.
Hey, good morning po, Chairman, and the rest po ng back members and team po ng R3 po.
Sir, as per our R3 team, yung team daw po ng NGDC ang mag-discuss.
Yes, sir. Ano pong paano po, sir, yung section all throughout, sir, po ng
For the
DTS
DTS,
po,
sir, yeah.
DTS po
Yung
and
DTS.
Big Dogs po.
Yes po.
Okay po, sir. Thank you.
Let me know kung we can start na. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. So I think po we can start na po. Nandito na rin po sa Zoom ang ating mga prospective bidders and yung back members po.
All right, thank you. Hello, okay, good morning everyone and welcome to the DICT Region 3 pre-bid conference for the procurement under bid reference number BAC-2025-012. So before we officially start, may I ask the Secretariat to check the attendance and confirm the presence of a quorum for the Bids and Awards Committee.
Thank you, Chair. So good morning, everyone. Before we proceed, we would like to remind everyone that this pre-bid conference is being conducted live from the DICT Region 3 Regional Office Conference Room, and it's also accessible via Zoom. It is simultaneously being live streamed on our official Facebook page, DICT Region 3, and YouTube channel, DICT Region 3. So acknowledging po the presence of our Bids and Awards Committee today, led by our back chairperson, Mr. Adriel Miranda, Vice Chairperson Mr. Edwin Mendoza, and back member Mr. Dale Dean Martinson. Chair, confirming po that we now have a quorum.
Thank you, Secretariat. Since 3 out of 5 members of the BAC are present, we now have a quorum and I now call this pre-bid conference into order 17 minutes past 9 a.m. Secretariat, please proceed with the acknowledgement of other participants, including the prospective bidders and observers in attendance.
Acknowledging also the presence of our technical working group led by Ms. Carisma Gutierrez, members Mr. Mark Kenneth Junicio. Also, we have here in our Zoom is Ms. Laika Aguado, Mr. Joshua Sumaway, and Mr. Alvin Gutierrez po. For the BAC Secretariat team po, led by Ms. Nerve de Guzman, members Ms. Shamir Cruz, Ms. Celine Focanan, and Ms. Erica Ley Dalino po. So we also have with us po from the NGDC team, Sir Michael Lagitan, Sir Carlo Di Mabuyo, Sir Patrick Sornes, and from our 3 team naman po, we have Sir John Peter Garcia and Mr. Erson Kakampo. So for our invited observers po, we would also like to note that invitations were extended po to the Commissions on Audit, the National Telecommunications Commission Region 3, and the Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines, Bulacan. However, none of our invited observers were able to attend today's private conference po. So we would also like to acknowledge po in attendance today the prospective bidders po for this project. So we have po from A Plus Power Services Incorporated, Sir Michael Peps Datuin, and Sir Khalil Ramos po. I think that's all po, Mr. Chair po.
Thank you, Secretariat.
Apologies po,
yeah.
sir. We would also like to acknowledge po that we have attendance po from our invited observers po just recently joined po ICEP Bulacan.
Okay.
Yan.
Okay. Just to also note and just to put on record, may I know who's the user of under the name Zoom user? For the participant po na naka-Zoom user, can we rename po your Zoom or kindly chat in the chat box po your name and affiliation, please? Ayan, nawala na siya or nag-rename na siya. Alright. Sige, Secretariat, you may continue with the project details and the house rules. Secretariat.
Sorry po, nakamute po pala ako. Okay. So, thank you po for joining us today po for the private conference for the procurement for supply and deliver of the synchronizing equipment for the 2 units 750 kVA generator set of EGDC01 Subic Data Center with bid reference number BAC-2025-012 and approved budget for the contract of 2 million pesos. So we are pleased to have you here, and we hope this session will be helpful in clarifying any concerns you may have about the procurement. So the invitation to bid po was posted to fill jobs and conspicuous places last October 15, 2025. So the ITB was sent to at least 3 prospective bidders po with known qualification. So the invitation to observers then po was forwarded last October 17, 2025. So for our house rules po. So upon joining the meeting, please rename your Zoom display name. So using the following format. So company name, dash full name, example ABC Corp, dash 1 De La Cruz. So for questions, comments, and suggestions may be raised after the presentations of the BAC chairperson and the BAC Secretariat. So kindly use the raise hand tool to indicate if you have a question or clarification, or send your inquiries via chat box. All questions must be brief, concise, specific, and relevant to the procurement at hand, and should be addressed to the back chairperson. That's all, Chair. Thank you po. I'm sorry. Meron pong second page, ayan. So please observe order and decorum during the proceedings. Any act or utterance that may interrupt or disrupt the session will not be tolerated. So please keep your microphone on mute unless you are asked to speak in order to avoid unnecessary background noise. When speaking, kindly enable your webcam and state your full name and the company or organization you are representing. So that's all
Okay.
po, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretariat. Now we shall proceed with the presentation of the detailed technical specifications to be immediately followed by the discussion of the bidding documents. Um, For the presentation of the DTS, we will run through it section per section, okay? But for the bidding documents, we'll just highlight salient points, and we advise the bidders to perform their due diligence in reviewing the whole bidding documents, okay? And please be advised also that the question and answer portion will be conducted after the presentation of both documents. We encourage all prospective bidders to listen attentively, as the information to be presented is vital to your understanding of the procurement requirements and processes. So now, can we proceed with the discussion of the detailed technical specification? May I call on the end user representative, please? Who will discuss po?
Yes, yes po. Good morning, Chairman.
Okay, Sir Michael.
Yes po,
Good
Mike
morning po.
Nagitan po. If I may be allowed to say po, the details, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yes, good morning, everyone. To the BACP Region 3 Chairman, Vice Chairman, and the rest, the honorable members of the Regional Awards Committee, to the prospective bidders, and to the technical working group, and yes, and my colleague, a pleasant morning to everyone. To discuss the detailed technical specifications. Please, if it's I'm audible po from your end, kindly confirm.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, thank you. For the detailed technical specification for the project title, supply and delivery of the synchronizing equipment for 2 units of 750 kVA generator sets of EGDC1 for the Subic Data Center. With the approved budget for the contract or the ABC of 2 million pesos. And for the section 1, for the brief description and purpose of the items being procured, the Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT through the National Government Data Center Project or NGDC project seek to procure the supply and delivery of the synchronized equipment for the two 750 kVA generator sets of the EGDC located in the Subic Bay paper zone. The existing equipment was installed in the year 2018 and it's already outdated and beyond the warranty coverage and no longer operational, making an upgrade necessary to ensure the reliability of the facility's backup power system. The upgrade of synchronizing equipment or system will provide more reliable and stable power support to EGDC1, which plays a critical role in the government's digital transformation efforts. This will direct benefit government agencies that rely on the NGDC infrastructure to host and secure their ICT system and ultimately the Filipino people who will gain from uninterrupted, efficient, and accessible digital government services. For the mode and nature of procurement, the mode of procurement is competitive bidding in accordance with Section 48.2 of the 2016 of the IRR of the RA 9184. And the project being procured is goods and services. For the source of fund, this procurement shall source out from the NGDC 2024 continuing appropriation under sub-arrow number 2025-09-1238, subject to the applicable government accounting rules and regulations. Again, for the ABC, which I mentioned a while ago, is 2 million pesos. And these amounts covers the supply and delivery of the required goods and services, inclusive of warranties, applicable government tax and charges, delivery fees, and all other incidental administrative costs, if any. Okay, for the scope of work, the contractor shall perform a full turnkey upgrade of the existing generator synchronizing system at EGDC1 or Subic Data Center, including the following activities. For 5.1, dismantling and decommissioning. Under 5.1.1, safe removal of the existing synchronizing panel, including disconnection and isolation of existing control and power circuit. For 5.1.2, securing the dismantled equipment or its components, if any, in accordance with the environmental and safety regulations in the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. For 5.2, engineering design, compatibility, and integration. Under 5.2.1, engineering design, compatibility, and integration of the new digital type synchronizing panel or switchgear system suited for the existing 2 units of 750 kVA, 340 to 400 volts, 3-phase emergency standby 60 Hz generator sets of EGDC1. Under 5.2.2, system integration ensures proper coordination with existing generator controls, ATS, building load distribution panels. Under 5.3 for the supply and installation of intelligent synchronizing switchgear with the following: digital auto synchronization and load sharing capability, voltage and frequency and phase angle matching algorithms. Under 5.3.3, built-in generator and busbar protection functions. Under 5.3.4, control status and event alarm features, installation of 2 units or 2 draw type 1200 ACB or air circuit breaker with adjustable LSIG protection, electrical interlock, and test positions. Under 5.3.6, installation of HMI or touchscreen display panel capable of real-time monitoring, configuration, and manual control. And lastly, reinstallation of the existing or dismantled cable to the newly installed ACB main protection breaker on the load side or downstream portion of the synchronizing equipment. For the technical specifications, for the generator compatibility, as mentioned, 2 units of 750 kVA transformer diesel type emergency backup generator sets, synchronizing equipment with the following details or specification: digital type, capable of handling at least 2 by 750 kVA units of generator sets, auto synchronization with phase voltage and frequency matching, load sharing, generator protection, and breaker control logic. The busbar system is highly conductivity, electrolytic copper, and the size and rating shall depend on at least two for the 2 unit 750 kVA generator sets, typically with at least 30 to 50% margin for the busbar. For the main circuit protection, two 1200 ACB 3-phase draw type LSIG trip unit, and the electrical interlocks and mechanical trip features. For the control interface, the specifications are as follows: digital HMI or touchscreen panel, real-time voltage frequency, current and breaker status display, and it has an alarm, event logs, system diagnostic, and manual override capabilities. For the DC supply, the specifications are as follows: 24 volts DC redundant power supply system with charger, maintenance-free or lithium-type battery backup for at least 8 hours runtime to support the synchronizing panel's control and monitoring devices independently of the AC input. For the enclosure, it is a IP ingress protection 42 rated or higher for indoor use. It is a powder-coated steel construction, properly ventilated and labeled. For the communication protocol, capable of Modbus TCP or /IP or RS485 compatibility or compatible. Capable of integration with SCADA or either DMS or either DCIM systems. And these are the following compliance standards: the IEC, PEC, NFPA, and other equivalent international standards, if applicable. For the warranty, the minimum 1 year, it is a minimum of 1 year for the equipment and 1 year for the installation or the workmanship. And for the local support, there is a need to the proof of an authorized local distributor or service partner in the Philippines. Under other technical requirements, under 7.1 for the synchronization controller features, under 7.1.1, multi-generator compatibility and scalability, example for the future expansion support for a third genset, or it's only provision features for the synchronization controllers. For 7.1.2, adjustable deadband limits for voltage, frequency, and phase, and programmable control logic circuit or the PLC base or equivalent. Soft load transfer and black start capabilities. For power quality and protection features, the voltage and balance protection, reverse power and under or over voltage protection, frequency protection, generator and busbar phase sequence, automatic reclosing interlocks, and anti-backfeed protection. For the monitoring, logging, and remote access, local and remote alarm signaling, interface provision for BMS, an event and fault history at minimum of 100 events, web server interface. It's either optional or using SNNP support for monitoring. Configurable threshold for alarms, example for voltage, current, and power factor. For mechanical and electrical interlocking under 7.4, mechanical interlock between generator or the air circuit breakers, if not in common bus. Under 7.4.2, electrical interlocking logic for safe operation of synchronization and load transfer. And under 7.4.3, a fail-safe mechanism in case of control system failure. Okay, for decommissioning and testing requirements, for local or warehouse, or we call it local acceptance test or a type test for that particular equipment before delivery to the site to be witnessed by the DICT technical engineers. Site acceptance test witnessed again by the DICT. IR and continuity testing, thermal scanning during load testing. Okay, for environmental condition under 7.6, the ambient operating temperature ranges from 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, humidity tolerance up to 95%, altitude rating up to 100 meters above sea level. For cable terminations and accessories under 7.7, incoming or outgoing cable lugs and gland plates for power cables, provision for CTs and PTs for monitoring and metering, internal cable trays, ladder, or the like, and proper separation of power or control wiring. For the maintenance provision, access doors will with lockable handles and door limit switches, cable markers, ferrule labeling, and terminal tags. Recommended spare parts list for at least 2 years of operation. For testing and commissioning, functional testing including the synchronization trials under no load and load condition using a dummy load to be provided by the winning service provider. Then protection relay injection testing if necessary or whenever necessary. Interlocking and fail-safe validation, running the 2 gensets and simulating the load sharing and transfer from normal power to generator set supply as needed using the newly installed synchronizing equipment. For documentation and knowledge transfer or training, knowledge transfer upon completion of the supply, delivery, and testing and commissioning works, and before handover or acceptance to the DICT, the contractor must conduct a thorough walkthrough of the completed installation for the DICT at a schedule to be agreed by all the parties concerned. The primary intent of this is to orient the DICT of the completed installation, including equipment type, functionality, and how it works to support the data center facility. And the knowledge transfer must cover the following: of course, the equipment tech specs, basic equipment operation, equipment troubleshooting, the PMS operation, for 9.1.5, there must be a support service structure for the contractor, must present the applicable support escalation levels and valid contact details for the committed SLA. Submission under 9.2, submission of detailed or as-built drawings, wiring diagram, and system layout with the existing facilities plan. Operating manuals, maintenance guidelines or guides, and technical data sheets. And for 9.4, conduct of on-site training for the ICT operation and maintenance personnel. For the delivery period, the contractor shall complete and deliver the project within 25 calendar days from the notice to proceed or the NTP. Then the project shall be delivered at the DICT Subic project site located in the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. These are the following milestones of the project. For the milestone 1, submission and acceptance of the plans or the technical specification and data sheet, if any. Then within 3 calendar days upon receipt of NTP. For milestone number 2, delivery of equipment, positioning, and installation. The delivery period or duration is 19 calendar days upon completion of milestone 1. And for milestone 3, under testing, commissioning, and acceptance, the delivery period is within 3 calendar days upon completion of milestone 2. Okay, for the warranty and maintenance service, the warranty is 1 year, covering the equipment or parts of the equipment, including the labor, maintenance, support service for 1 year. Availability of a Philippine-based authorized distributor or service partner for post-sale support and spare parts provisioning. Under 11.1.3, the vendor or service provider shall provide an operation and maintenance manual, including the list of parts and PMS service schedule, or it could be the manufacturer's recommended PMS. For the permitting and other government mandated clearance, under 12.1, all government required permits and clearances to legitimize the delivery and physical installation shall be facilitated by the winning vendor, including any related fees or fees or payments, if any. And this is the support services, which include the contractor with a minimum or among others conditions to support the contract or services. Break fix provision, maximum of 3 call to response hours. Then replacement of defective parts, if any. And in case that the supplied equipment has failed, there a provision of service unit, not more than 2 days upon completion of the diagnosis, if any. And for the routine or TMS, must be compliant with the manufacturer's maintenance specification. For the acceptance testing criteria and process, full and satisfactory compliance with the scope, requirements, and specifications stated in the TOR or the terms of reference or the detailed specification. Technical specification shall be the basis of acceptance of the project. However, testing results will heavily impact the final acceptance thereof. Hence, all the supplied and installed equipment shall be tested based on the manufacturer-approved testing specification and functional testing procedures as approved by the DICT. For the payment terms for the project shall be made one time based on the completion of the final acceptance of all the deliverables under the contract. Then the procuring entity shall pay the winning bidder 100% of the contract price upon satisfactory completion of the entire scope of work as duly certified by the DICT. Again, the milestone for the payment terms is completion of submission and acceptance of plans, technical specification and data sheet, delivery of installation, testing and commissioning, and final acceptance. And the delivery period is 25 calendar days upon the receipt of the NTP. And these are the following acceptance criteria: DR, inspection, testing report, and other supporting documents that must be acknowledged by the DICT. For the confidentiality obligations, the winning vendor or service provider as a recipient of confidential information shall have the obligation to receive and hold the confidential information in confidence and to protect and safeguard such confidential information against unauthorized use or disclosure using at least the same degree of care as it accords to its own confidential information of like importance, but in no case less than reasonable care. Without limiting the generality of the foregoing, the winning vendor shall have further obligations from 16.1 of 1 not to directly or indirectly in any way disclose, make accessible, reveal, report, publish, disseminate, or transfer any confidential information to any third party, and not to use the confidential information in any manner contrary to the purpose for which they were disclosed by the other party. To restrict access to the confidential information to those persons with a legitimate need to know to carry out the service and who are obliged to protect such confidential information pursuant to terms and conditions. Not to reproduce or copy or confidential information except to the extent necessary to deliver the services. For the affiliates breach of confidentiality, the existence of any business negotiation, discussions, or agreement in progress between the winning bidder and the DICT shall kept confidential and shall not be disclosed without written approval of the DICT. The right and breach of confidentiality, the LD or the liquidated damage damages. If the supplier fails to deliver the goods within the specified schedule, including any duly granted extensions, if any, the supplier shall pay liquidated damage at 0.1% of the cost of the delayed goods for each day of delay until delivery and acceptance. This amount shall be deducted from the payment due or collected from the supplier's posted securities as applicable. Dispute resolutions. Any dispute arising from the contract shall be resolved through mutual consultation, mediation, and arbitration in that order. The venue proceedings shall be in the city of Malolos, Bulacan. In case of court action, jurisdiction shall exclusively lie with the competent courts of Malolos, Bulacan. Any amendment to the contract must be in writing and duly signed by both party. Prepared and signed by Jeffrey Lazaro, the ITO1 of the ICT Zambales. Digitally signed, recommending approval, digitally signed by Mr. Mario Antonio B. Ayaay, the Chief Technical Operations Divisions, and duly approved by the Regional Director of Region 3, Director Antonio Edward E. Padre. That's all po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Mike. Now we proceed with the discussion of the bidding documents. Ikaw din po ba mag-discuss, Sir Mike?
Yes, Mr. Chair. If I may
Okay.
allow to proceed po. Thank
All
you.
right, please proceed. Kindly just focus on the silent points. I hope our three team already informed you of the sections to be highlighted.
Noted po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay, this document is the bidding documents for the supply and delivery of the synchronizing equipment for the 2 units 750 kVA generator sets of EGDC1 or Subic Data Center with approved budget for the contract or ABC of 2 million pesos with the bid reference number BAC-2025-012 dated October 2025. For the bid document salient points, we will now proceed directly to Section 1 of these bidding documents. Section 1 is the invitation to bid. Again, for the DICT Region 3 through the continuing appropriation for the fiscal year 2024, the agency-specific budget or the sub-arrow number 2025-09-1238 intends to apply the sum of 2 million pesos being the ABC to the payment under the contract for the supply and delivery of the synchronizing equipment for the 2 units of 750 kVA generator set of EGDC1 for Subic Data Center. The DICT is now inviting bids for the above procurement project. Delivery of goods is required within 25 calendar days upon the receipt of the notice to proceed. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. Where later on we will have the section 2 for the ITB. Before bidding, the bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the 2016 IRR revised implementing rules and regulations of the RA 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or sole proprietors or partnership or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens or the Philippines and to citizens or organizations of the country, the law or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 51 83. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from the DICT and inspect the bidding documents at the given address from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired interest bidders on which was already on October 15, 2025, with the following given address and telephone numbers. The DICT will hold a pre-bid conference now, which is currently being conducted. Okay, for number 9 of section 1, for the bid opening shall on November 7, 2025 at 9 a.m. at the DICT Region 3 office with the address 3rd floor, Marison Square, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan, and or through video conferencing via Zoom. Bidders are encouraged to send at most one representative to be physically present at the bid opening. Again, the bidders are encouraged to send at most one representative to be physically present at the bid opening. For further information, please refer to Ma'am Nerv G. D. Guzman, the BAC Secretariat of the DICT Region 3. This bidding document is duly signed by the BAC Chairman, Honorable Edriel C. Miranda, digitally signed. For under section 2 of the bid documents, under instructions to bidders, again, the scope of the bid is the procurement for the supply and delivery of synchronizing equipment for the 2 units 750 kVA generator set of Subic Data Center with bid with the identification number of BAC-2025-. For the eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership is limited to those allowed under the rules to participate in this project. Pursuant to Section 2023.4.1.3 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184, the bidder shall have an SLCC that is at least one contract similar to the project, the value of which adjustable to current price using the PSA CPI must be at least equivalent to. For the procurement of non-expendable supplies and services, the bidder must have completed a single contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. And for the origin of goods, there's no restriction on the origin of goods other than those prohibited by a decision of the UN Security Council taken under Chapter 7 of the Charter of the UN, subject to domestic preference requirements under ITB Clause 18. For the subcontracting is not allowed. Under 9 of Section 2, clarification and amendment of bidding documents, prospective bidders may request clarification and or interpretation of any part of the bidding documents. Such request must be in writing and received by the procuring entity, either at its given address or through electronic mail indicated in IB, and at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. For the documents comprising the bid, under eligibility and technical components, the first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents of the bid as specified in Section 8 or the checklist of technical and financial documents. The bidder's SLCC, as indicated in the ITB Clause 5.3, should have been completed within at least 5 years prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. If the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids and all other documents for the submission to the BAC are in the foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation in English, which shall be authenticated by the appropriate Philippine Foreign Service establishment. Under 11 of the Section 2, documents comprising the bid under financial component. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 7 or for the checklist of technical and financial documents. If the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity, a certification issued by DTI shall be provided by the bidder in accordance to Section 43.1.3 of the 2016 IRR. Any bid exceeding the ABC indicated in the paragraph 1 of the IB shall not be accepted. Bid prices. Price indicated on the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For goods offered from within the procuring entity's country, the price of the goods quoted or the EXW as applicable, the cost of all customs duties and sales and other tax already paid or payable, the cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incidental to delivery of the goods to their final destination, and the price of others incidental services, if any. For goods offered from abroad, unless otherwise stated in the BDS, the price of the goods shall quoted delivery duty paid or DDP with the place of destination in the Philippines as specified in the bidding documents. In quoting the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation through carriers registered in any eligible country. Similarly, the bidder may obtain insurance services from any eligible source country. The price of other or incidental services is if any, as listed in Section 7. For the bid security, the bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in amount indicated in the BDS, which shall be not less than the percentage of the ABC in accordance with the schedule in the BDS. The bid security shall be valid until 120 days from the bid submission. Any bid not accompanied by an acceptable bid security shall be rejected by the procuring entity as non-responsive. Sealing and marking of bids. Each bidder shall submit 3 copies of the first and second components of its bid. The bidders shall enclose their original eligibility and technical in one sealed envelope marked original technical component and the original of their financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component, sealing them all in an outer envelope marked original bid. Each copy of the first and second envelope shall be similarly sealed, duly marking the inner envelopes as copy number, technical component, and copy number, financial component, and outer envelope as copy number, respectively. These envelopes containing the original and the copy shall then be enclosed in one single envelope. Under 15.4, the original and the number of copies of the bid as indicated in the BDS shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representatives. All envelopes shall contain the name of the contractor to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidders in capital letters, to be addressed to the procuring entities back in accordance with ITB Clause number 1, bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the ITB Clause 1.2, and bear a warning, do not open before or the date and time for the opening of bids. Bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in the bidding document shall not be rejected, but the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC or the procuring entity shall assume no responsibility for the misplacing or rather for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid for its premature opening. The procuring entity may request additional hard copies and or electronic copies of the bid. However, failure of the bidders to comply with the said request shall not be ground for disqualification. If the procuring entity allows the submission of the bids through an online submission or any other electronic means, the bidder shall submit an electronic copy of its bid, which must be digitally signed. An electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. The deadline for submission of bid, the bidders shall submit on the specified date and time, and either at their physical address or through online submission, as indicated in paragraph 7 of the IB. Opening and preliminary examination of bids. The BAC shall open the bids in public at the time, on the date, and at the place specified in the paragraph 9 of the IB. The bidder's representative who are present shall sign a register evidencing their attendance. In case of video conferencing or webcasting or other similar technologies are used, participants' attendance shall likewise be recorded by the BAC Secretariat. In case the bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the scheduling requirements under Section 29 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184 shall prevail. For the post qualifications, with an non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that is submitted the lowest calculated bid or the LCB, the bidder shall submit its latest income and business tax return filed and paid through the BIR Electronic Filing and Payment System or the EFPS, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. Then we will move to Section 7.
I guess checklist na tayo, sir.
Ay, sorry, Mr. Chair. Section 9.
9.
Okay, for Section 9, checklist of technical and financial documents. For the technical component envelope, under Class A documents, legal documents, valid under A, valid PhilJEPS registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Under Class A documents, technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contract awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid under Annex I. And under technical documents, see, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or the SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in Section 23.4.1.3 and point 4 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. Within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. End user acceptance or contract accompanied by an official receipt or sales invoice covering the full contract amount under Annex IA. And for under technical documents, number D or letter D, original copy of the bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of the notarized bid securing declaration or Annex 3. And conformity with the technical specifications, which may include production or / delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales or parts, if applicable. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder under Annex 4. The project brochure, valid and current certificate of distributorship, dealership, resellership of the following product being offered, issued by the principal or manufacturer of the product, if the bidder is the manufacturer. If not issued by the manufacturer, must also submit certification or document linking the bidder to the manufacturer. Certified ISO 9001-2015, management system or ISO 2701-27001, information security management compliant company. Vicinity or locations of bidder's principal place of business, and project timeline or Gantt chart. For the financial documents, the supplier's audited financial statement or AFS, showing among others the supplier's total current asset and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Again, for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the bid of submission. And under financial documents, letter M, the prospective bidder's computation of the NFCC or the net financial contracting capacity, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Use Annex 2. Under Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed JVA or the joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Under financial component envelope, Letter O, original duly signed and accomplished bid form and Annex A or BOQ. And again, in the financial component envelope, original duly signed and accomplished price schedule. Other documentary requirements under RA 9184 as applicable for foreign bidders claiming by reason of further country's extension or reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or documents or domestic entity. That's all po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Mike, for that discussion. Now we will begin the question and answer portion. So for the first round, we shall call on each company one by one to raise their questions or clarifications. Then for any additional queries, you may raise your hand after all participating companies have been called. Kindly be concise and relevant with your questions to ensure a smooth and organized discussion. So I'll call the uh, present prospective bidders, no? But I guess we only have one. That's from A Plus Power Services Inc. Okay, so A Plus Power Services Inc. Um, do you have any questions po with regards to the procurement?
Good morning, esteemed committee members. Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning.
Khalil Sebastian G. Ramos for A Plus Power Services, Inc. We have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So since there are no questions from A Plus Power Services Inc. and tama, no? There are no other participating ano naman na company. Yeah, wala na. So I guess we can proceed with the next item in our agenda, Secretariat. So will you be discussing the envelope and markings? Sealing?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, kindly please proceed first on that. Then I'll just give my final reminders later on.
Okay
Thank
po.
you.
So for the envelope system and proper sealing and markings, in addition to the instructions presented during the discussion of the bidding documents, we are reiterating po the guidelines on the envelope system and proper sealing and markings to help prevent disqualification during the opening of the bids. So bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before 8:30 a.m. of November 7, 2025. So late bids shall not be accepted po. So bid envelopes must be addressed to our BAC chairperson, Mr. Adriel C. Miranda, DICT Region 3, 3rd floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Bigigtong, Bulacan. So bidder shall submit one original, one duplicate copy, and one triplicate copy of their bid. So each of these envelopes shall contain two separate inner envelopes, one for the technical component and the second one for the financial component. So these inner envelopes must also be properly labeled as technical component and financial component respectively. All outer and inner envelopes shall be clearly and properly labeled, signed across the seal and sealed in accordance with the updated guidelines in the audit of procurement issued by the Commission on Audit and the GPTE. So the three main envelopes, original, duplicate, triplicate, must then be placed inside one sealed mother envelope, also properly marked with project title, name of the bidder, and address to the back. So here's the sample po. So from the original and the financial component inside the original bid, copy 1, copy 2, and inside the main or the mother envelope. So required markings for the bid envelope. So it must be signed po. on the ceilings, and the sample format of the labeled envelope. So here's for the mother envelope. The outer envelope po. The technical component. And the financial component. So this applies din po for the other copies indicate po, copy 1 and copy 2. So for the project timeline po natin, so the deadline of submission of bids will be on November 7, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. And the opening of bids will be on the same date, November 7, 2025 at 9 a.m. So bidding documents payment, again, for the approved budget of the contract for this procurement is 2 million pesos. So in reference to the GPPB resolution number 04-2012, the cost of the bidding documents shall be 5,000 pesos. So payments for the bidding payments for the bidding document shall be made manually po. Interested bidders are advised to proceed to the DICT Region 3 regional office and directly pay at the cashier. So when paying po, please state the exact project title you are participating to ensure proper recording and issuance of the official receipt. So only those who have paid for the bidding documents will be allowed to participate in the bidding process in accordance with Section 17.5 of 2016 revised IRR of RA 9. So that's all po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. Last call. Baka may pahabol po na question from our prospective leaders. Okay, so I would like to remind all prospective leaders that you may submit additional queries or requests for clarification through an official letter addressed to the Bids and Awards Committee and sent to be sent via the BAC Secretariat's official email address on or before October 27, 5 p.m. Okay, so kung wala pa po kayong questions today, you may send a follow-through clarification or questions through a formal letter to be addressed to the Bids and Awards Committee and to be sent to the BAC Secretariat's official email address until Monday, October 27, 5 p.m. Okay, so another reminder, any statement made at the pre-bid conference shall not modify the terms of the bidding documents unless such statement is specifically identified in writing as an amendment thereto and issued as a supplemental bid bulletin. Any amendments in the detailed technical specifications and bidding documents shall be posted through supplemental bid bulletin. So we encourage everyone, especially our prospective bidders, to regularly monitor the PhilJEP's website for any supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued. Please be reminded that it is the responsibility of all prospective bidders to stay informed and ensure they have all secured all supplemental bulletins related to this procurement. Okay, so for the minutes of the meeting, this will be made available not later than 5 days after today upon written request. Just if you want a copy of the minutes of the meeting, kindly email the BAC Secretariat through dictrbacsec@dict.gov.ph. Okay. So if there are no more questions, again, thank you for your participation and interest in this procurement, and we hope to see you on our bid opening. I hope you'll participate now for the completion of this procurement. And to all our observers in attendance, Isaac Bulacan, Engineer La Piguera, thank you, sir, for giving your time to this pre-bid conference. Thank you, sir. Well appreciated. And for the rest of the procurement team, thank you. Okay, so with that, if there are no more concerns, Secretariat, are there any other items in the agenda?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. There's a question po in our chat box. So yung
Okay.
live stream po, pwede mag-send ng query sa BACSEC.
Sorry, ano daw?
Yun po bang nanood din po sa live stream natin sa Facebook and YouTube? Pwede rin po bang mag-send ng query po sa BACSEC?
Yes po, they can send queries po to the BAC Secretariat. Anyone who has access to this pre-bid conference po may send queries po regarding the procurement. Okay? So, with that, again, maraming salamat po and good morning to all. To NGDC team, thank you as well po. With that, the pre-bid conference is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Ethan,
Thank you.
Thank you. Same link ba tayo for the 10:30? Or iba?
Same lang din po.
Same lang. Okay. I'll just stay here.